AVG, Avast, Windows Defender that's already part of your Windows install. So you can check for a Windows Defender in your install by just typing Defender in the search. Here I have Windows Defender. You can click and check it out. Go through Cortana, I guess. Defender. So Windows Defender desktop app. Oh, it's here on the bottom. There it goes. Toop, toop. I'm going to just move it to the screen. Here it goes. This is the Windows Defender app. That is the basic protection of Windows. It's okay if you're careful with your computer. Another tool that I enjoy is the Unchecky. This is brand new for me, and it seems to work well. If you install software and you're scared of having too much crapware installed, Unchecky is cool because it unchecks the boxes you should not have checked for malware. It also tells you that some offers you need to decline, which is nice. So these are little things that you should check for. You have also Malwarebytes. This is a must. I think even if you have an antivirus, the free version of Malwarebytes is a must to clean your computer. Check for malware. It is much better than most of the malware detectors in antiviruses. So this is good. And of course, CCleaner is one of the recommended by Piriform. It has the free cleaner. The free cleaner is faster computer privacy protection. It's a manual piece of software. Or you can, of course, buy CCleaner Professional. Adds new features like complete cleaning, real-time monitoring, automatic updating. Professional Plus has defrag, file recovery, and hardware analysis. So these are things that you can check for sure. So basically, that's what I would say for the free stuff that you install. I don't, install a lot of free stuff. As for antivirus, AVG is not bad. It has its flaws, but it's okay. It tends to be a little better than the Windows Defender. Avast, I'm less and less. I used to really like Avast as a free antivirus. I'm not that fond of Avast anymore. I think it's getting a little bloated as an antivirus. So these are things that you can do. We have Tim Robinson sent a question a few weeks or last week that I didn't have time to answer. Hello again, my friend. Hope you are well. He had a question about cameras last time, and I did look at the video, and was interesting. He says the question is two-part. That okay? You said you recorded some live music to the concert. Did you edit the video? I don't mean just clipping out bad parts, but more advanced visual editing. And so what video tools do you use? I don't use any video tools, basically. Since I don't really do a lot of video editing, I don't have any suggestions. I know Adobe has one that's called, I don't remember. It's one of those Adobe. I'm probably going to keep it. If anybody, by the way, is using any of these tools to enhance videos, any video editing tool that you might be using for YouTube or professional videos, why not share it with me? I just can't remember the Adobe one. What is it? Man, I'm trying to remember it. But there are many out there of video editing tools, that's for sure. But I don't use any because I don't do the kind of videos that require much editing. And I'm, kind of go with the flow video. That's why you might notice the way I go into the videos, and sometimes, seem to go a little bit off track, just a little bit. That's my style. I like just go with the flow, and if I mess up, I'll just restart and do it again. But of course, for more professional looking videos, of course, it is nice to have some video editing software for sure. Second part, created a YouTube channel for the band. I usually go to see where I can upload the videos. There is far more to creating a channel than anticipated. And if I wondered if you had any quick tips for me. I hope it reaches quite a large audience, and I hope to give it an overall feel of quality, perhaps not professional level quality, but pretty good. Thanks in advance, my friend. Keep up the good work you're doing. Regards. Uh, and there's also another question, because I've matched questions here. One is about monetization, and it comes from David, that is in Vancouver, BC. Says, I'm looking at your video. Two questions. Do you monetize? And if yes, what is exactly monetization? Okay, so basically, if you put videos on YouTube, of course you'll want people to watch them. That's probably the hardest part. Unless you make a video that becomes viral tomorrow morning, you'll probably have difficulty really promoting it. Now, the best way to do stuff is, first of all, build your YouTube channel and make sure that every part of it is built right. So, for example, if I go to, as an example here, we'll go to one of my channels. We'll go to youtube.com, and here we have, let's just go to the channel directly. This is my main Windows channel, the one that I'm actually using right now to record this video. So you have your channel, and your channel has many areas that you want to do. Make sure you have a banner like this. Make sure you have your little logo somehow. That's for sure. There are different options that you want to do. So here you see that we've got almost 18,000 subs, 6 million views. So make sure that you do everything. I'm sorry this is in French, but on the right side here, you have, most of the time when you click on the upper left of your channel and you go into your channel, on the right side, you'll have all sorts of little details. I'm going to say, have you done this? Have you done that? Did you create a little video to promote? These are all things that are very, very important. First of all, make sure that your channel is professional, or at least good looking, just from the beginning. Then you'll post the videos, and of course you have many options. If you have many videos of same types, for example, if you go and record a concert from them, what you could do is do a playlist. For example, all the shows that I do live are saved on the channel. I've added a playlist called Live Shows. So if I go into my playlists, I have live shows in the playlist. So here goes live shows, and it says 4, but I'll be posting everything. So with today, we should have 7 live shows. And if you click live shows, it means only the live shows are here. That is an interesting feature. One thing that I want to do, because this channel has Windows 8 videos, maybe do a separate also playlist for that. The other thing, if you want to be popular, if you have some stuff like that, interact. On this channel, I've not subscribed to a lot of people, but on my radio channel, I've subscribed to everybody that has radio videos. One thing that you might want to do, and probably I should do it here, is subscribe to the same types of channels. So for example, you do live recording, live shows, you see other people with live shows, live stuff, you might want to subscribe to them. They might subscribe to you also by doing so. It creates a social environment. That helps a lot on YouTube, by the way, creating a social environment. Facebook, Twitter, create something about that, on Twitter and on Facebook, and try to get Facebook friends, maybe a Facebook page. For example, I'm in the process of probably starting a Twitter feed for my channel. People were asking Facebook. I'm not fond of Facebook pages. There's a lot of trolling. I might do a Twitter feed though, where I'll have little tips of PC technology tips, and also I'll always be posting. Okay, got a new video online. Check it out here. Check it out here. Also, the Twitter feed would be nice because I could attract people and say, "Hey, the live show's starting." So these are things you could do. Of course, make sure you give good descriptions to your video as possible. Make sure that you try and post as much details, tags, lots of tags. Use all the tags that are available that are, it's very important. They have to do with what the content you have is very important, or else you'll get messed up by Google. So try that and never stop. The biggest thing, the most important one, is don't stop. Even after 6 months, if you see that there's not a lot of views, don't worry. Let it go through. This channel is 3 years, more than 3 years old now, and it started slow, but it's growing all the time. I have more views all the time. I have more information all the time. It's getting interesting. So why not build that around that? As for the other question from David in Vancouver, what is monetization and how does it work on YouTube, or how does YouTube work with that? That's about the question he has. Okay. YouTube has a program called a partner program. Basically, what you do is you create your channel, and then you can say, well, I want to become a partner. If you become a partner, you can do what's called monetization. Monetization is a way of making money from YouTube by displaying ads. You might have seen that on my channel, the Windows channel. There are ads on the channel because I have decided to use monetization. It gives me a form of revenue. And basically, what you'll do is create a AdSense account, because that's how it works. The ads are displayed by Google AdWords, and to get payment from the ads that are in your channel, you get AdSense, which is the program that you go into, and this will give you, depending on the popularity of your channel, the content, some revenue, basically. And that's what monetization is. It's a way to promote good videos on YouTube. It's a way for Google to say, well, why not join our program and you might make money. Those that think, because there's a lot of that going on, that, oh, each view is 1 penny, that's not at all true. The only thing that creates money on a channel is the ads. If someone watches an ad completely, if someone clicks on a banner, that is a revenue. That gives money to that person. If you just skip, that little skip button after 5 seconds, doesn't pay. If you don't click a banner, doesn't pay. That said, I don't want people clicking on anything at all. If you like an ad and you watch it, fine. If you don't watch it, fine. I have control over that. I could put a check mark and say that you are forced to watch a 15-second ad, and I don't like that. I want to give the fair use of my channel, and if you don't watch, or if you use an ad block, you're typically blocking everything for the ads. So, but that's a way of helping the creators do content, and that's called monetization, pretty much. So hope I answered both of your questions. Tim Robinson has another question about, so if I get my old Sony Handycam video up and running, need battery, I will need to use a video capture card on a PC. Are there any you would recommend for capturing video and audio via analog connections, as this camera records to a mini video cassette? I'm not looking for anything pro level, just something that works pretty well without breaking the bank. For video capture, let's go on the web, and one of the things that we're going to check for on video capture is one video capture. They usually have a lot of a POG or Podge, a Podge, H-A-U-P-P-A-U-G-E. A Podge is a website, a podge.com. They have all sorts of video capture devices. So what you could do is go to the APOG website and check out what they have. They probably have a lot of stuff. Now there's the digital tuner stuff. They have digital capture, but they have a lot of capture cards. Fortunately, a lot of them are seen to be in very high quality, high def stuff with HDMI. They have this, which is the WinTV tuner with USB box with built-in hardware MPEG 2 encoder. This could be something for you, that WinTV HVR 1955. This has composite in, the yellow, white, and red. So you have the sound. You also have S-Video. And this is $129, which is not too bad. So you could check out the APOG website, HAUPPAUGE.com. So these are interesting options that you could check for. They have a lot of capture cards, a lot of stuff. I used to own 2 APOG capture cards that I really had a lot of fun with and really enjoyed. The other spot I would go to, basically, you know what? I would go to eBay and I would check for analog capture PC or something like that, and search. So so there's one here that's very cheap, but basically you'll have to have software that will probably work with it. You can check that out and check what people think. Elgato, I remember somebody that I've seen. Elgato video capture, analog source to Mac or PC. This one's a little more expensive, 126. So there are things you can try, maybe not the $11 one. I would not expect that to be very good. But, you know, look at that. USB audio capture device. This is a digital converter. So this is an MP3 one. So you have to really have the video capture stuff. Make sure it's video capture. So you see all the software that comes with it. Video capture. You can, you know, check that out. There's a lot of them here, that's for sure. Game capture, HD PVR, gaming video recorder for Xbox One. It has some inputs here. Line, no. This doesn't seem to be really what you want. So check that out. But the APOG might be a good solution. And it's a well-known company. APOG is a well-known company. I would probably buy the APOG one because usually it comes with a lot of software. Personally, that's what I would do for sure. You are watching Tech Show number 7 for November 17, 2015. We are live every Tuesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, North America. That's 20 to 2200 UTC. And we try to answer all of your questions. We have a lot of questions that are from last week that we'll try to answer if possible. We have Carl Falzon. Carl says, "Dear sir, new temporary user was created on my Windows 10 Pro 64-bit while trying to solve in different ways the issue of Cortana and start menu issue. I would like to delete this temp user, but it continued to notify each time that the user cannot be deleted. I have tried with both the command and MMC, but still the user is still present. Can you please help me how to delete this user? Thanks in advance." Maybe go to safe mode and try to remove the user from safe mode. I'd like to have a little more detail of what you did to have that user, temporary user that was created. Did you create it yourself, or did it go to a temporary user? Because usually it, you know, will delete. So maybe try that. Go to safe mode. To do that, simply go to your settings and in the update and security. And on the left side, you'll have recovery. And here you have advanced startup. Click restart now. You'll have different options. One of the options will be to go into the advanced options, basically. And this advanced option will give you the possibility. Try it from there. But I'd like to have more details about what's happening with your computer so that it generated that option here. That's for sure, because I'm not really sure exactly what's happening right now. You can send your questions to helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com. We're trying to go a little faster here. Next PC. Here goes. Jim Millay. Hello. Enjoy your show very much and learn a lot. I'm presently using a 13-inch MacBook Air. It's about 4 or 5 years old now. I would like to get a new computer, but I want something different. So going to a Windows machine and a 15-inch. Would love a Dell XPS, but way overkill for me and cannot afford it anyway. Also don't want a Chromebook, so wondering if you could recommend a middle-of-the-road 15-inch Windows laptop. It would be used for general surfing, email, watching movies, some light video, editing, and light gaming. Of course, watching YouTube podcasts. Would like an i5 processor and solid-state drive. 8 gigs of RAM or more. Thanks, and keep up the good work. Look, go at your local computer store. That's what I often tell people, and check out what they have. Now, I don't have any specific machine to recommend, but you could check, for example, just Google stuff like top Windows laptop fall 2015, and basically you'll have different laptops that you can check for. It depends also how much you want to spend. Does it have to be portable? Do you want something that is a laptop that can do a 2-in-1? So you can check that. There's a lot of websites, like for example here, here's a Tech Radar article, which is 14 best laptops you can buy in 2015. Check the specs, check what you want in here, check the ones that have i5s and so on. So here, for example, Dell XPS 13. Of course, these are expensive, so you probably want something that's more down to earth. Asus ZenBook, for example, has a 256 gigabyte SSD for 869, as you see here. All depends on how much you want to pay for. You don't want a Chromebook, that's for sure. But if I were to buy something, basically like you are asking right now, I would go and check the best laptops here, check my local computer shop. What do they have? and just do that basically. I don't have any people, any computers that I would recommend more than another, but or any brands. They're pretty much all the same today for me. I would simply check the specs and the price that you want to pay, what price point. But search the web a lot and check that out. That's what I would do basically. Stephen Mail, Aurora, Colorado. A question from 3 days ago. I have an old Gateway desktop which I bought in 2004. I was having some problems, so I decided to reinstall the original Windows XP operating system. The installation would not boot to Windows and kept restarting over and over. Tried other OSs, and the only OS that would install is Windows Vista. This computer has only 1 GB of memory, so even though it does work, the whole system just crawls. I even tried to install Windows XP Pro, but the activation number did not work, so I could not install that either. Now, I do not use this computer very often. Would it be prudent to install some type of Linux operating system? The other Gateway desktop, which I was using as an insider preview, does not work at all. I can't even get it to boot up. It goes into diagnosis and auto repair, but this goes into a loop, so it's unusable. As far as my 2 Windows 10 computers, I had to use the tool to get the fall update. From start to finish, took a little over 2 hours, but everything seems to be working. Any suggestions would be helpful. You know what? An old computer, I often say Linux is the way to go. You can get any version of Linux that you want, Linux Mint, or check for different versions, Ubuntu. Maybe go into an earlier version. So if like Ubuntu is at 14, try to find Ubuntu 12 or one that's a few years back. You could try that. Linux is a nice operating system. If you've never used it, it's a good thing because you'll have the feel of some other operating system, not just Windows that you've used to using. So yeah, that could be an interesting thing. I would try that for sure. As for the installation not booting from your XP, that could be maybe a drive problem. Maybe it just can't read the disks well or something, and it does with the Vista for some sort. Of course, Vista with 1 GB is absolutely unusable. I agree with you, but I would definitely look into a Linux. The only thing that sometimes happens with Linux is missing drivers for some hardware, but that would be something to try for. I would definitely look at that. Try Linux Mint, which is a nice version of Linux, and it's not too bad. It's pretty usable. It looks more like Windows than anything else. It has a start menu and everything. It's pretty lightweight. Linux Mint is very lightweight, and that's what I like about it. So I would suggest maybe something like that. But it's a good idea, turning old computers into workable machines using things like that. So for sure. We have Steve Martin. I have one problem with Cortana since it is now in Canada. When I say where I am, it tells me I am in another town 32 kilometers away from where I am. This is a laptop and desktop in my home hooked to cable. When I ask where is my home, it is correct because I set home on the map program. How do I set where I am so it always is at my location? And it should be a fixed location when on cable. It makes a problem when I ask how far is to a location, of course, because it doesn't display right there. But from unknown location 32 kilometers away. 3 other people I know are having the same problem. That must be a setting we are all missing. Are you all on the same internet service provider? It could be a internet service provider problem. The reason why is because some internet service providers have a center where all of the IP address comes to. And instead of displaying the location of where you are, because basically, they know your location only because of your IP address. That's all. The IP address states you're here. And that is information that is kind of a public file where IP addresses are linked to physical areas on a map. Some internet service providers don't do that, don't give that information. So basically, one of the information that I remember didn't work was before. Now I'm on Videotron, but I was on Bell many years ago. And I remember when we started asking where we were on Videotron, it told me I was here. It showed on the map where I was. But on the Bell, it told me I was in Ottawa. And every time I would ask, it told me I was in Ottawa. So it could be an issue with your internet service provider. I'd be interested to know if you are all on the same internet service provider. I think it has something to do with that. As for, is there something you can do on it? I'm not really sure, because it's an automatic process. I'll try to find more information on it, but I'm not really sure you can change that. Another question from Steve Martin. Maybe you can answer this for me. This happens with all my and my son's computers. On the desktop, I save a web shortcut and it works great, as seen on the first picture. And something happens and it changes to a blue globe, second picture. And if there are four on the screen, that is a pain in the ass. Okay. For some reason, because the globe is a way of saying this is a link to an internet page, basically. Does it still work? Basically, when you have that link, does it still work when it changes to a globe? I can't seem to change them back, even if I delete the globes and save the same shortcuts. Refresh the screen, doesn't help. Sometimes they change back themselves in a few days to read the proper icon. Wow. Okay. So Steve Martin in Milton, Ontario. This is an interesting one. Basically, what happens here is that because you save your pages, that blue icon is, I've seen that before, and it's the icon for, meaning that is a link. I wonder if it has something to do maybe with your browser, your preferred browser that you're using. That's an interesting thing. What browser, you know what? Can you give me a little more detail? What browser are you using? And can you give me the information of how you save your link? Send me an email. Let me know what browser you're using and how you save your link. And next week, I'm going to answer that question because I'll have a little more detail about it. So hope this answers your question. As for Cortana not being right, that's interesting. I think it's your internet service provider. So we'll answer one or two more questions and then we'll sign off. Already 2 hours. It's incredible how much time flies, like I say every time. Noel Dowds in the UK. When I'm prompted to do Windows updates on 8.1, an HP G6 machine, Windows correctly downloads and installs them. When prompted that a restart is needed to complete install and updates, my machine goes into restarting process but never completes restart. The only way out of this is to do a hard reset on the machine. When the machine restarts and completes the update install. I know that having to do a hard reset is no good for the hard drive, but there is no other way to complete the install of Windows updates. Machine is fine and all other times except this problem. Any thoughts on what can be causing this issue? By the way, this is a new problem that has arose. It never used to do this. Okay, first of all, have you, since it started, installed new software on your computer, updated drivers, stuff like that? Try to think what changed for one. What I see that you're talking here, I have the impression it isn't a update problem, but a restart problem from your computer. So what I would try when it wants to update after installing, instead of restarting, shut down. So click the shut down button and shut down your computer. Does it shut down right? Does it work right? And is it okay? And if it does shut down, press the button and restart it, and your updates should be installed fine. That's one thing you can try. Look at all the software that's running on your computer. On the bottom right, look at all the icons. What's running in the background? Use the task manager. Check for everything that's running on your computer. That's something you need to do. So you right click in the taskbar at the bottom, click task manager in the menu options, and on that task manager, check for, go to more details, and check for all the programs that are running in your background. Make sure that you go into the startup, try to disable as many stuff that you don't want. So for example here, BlueStacks, it says enabled. I'll disable the startup from that. Here it says Logitech Download Assistant, Microsoft OneDrive. I will click here and disable the option there, and so on. So disable everything that you don't need, that's not necessary, and restart. Check if it changes anything. It might be, from what I think, a process that is from one of the software on your computer that prevents a restart. Another test you could do, don't, in a moment where you have no updates to do, what you could try, use your computer for an hour, 2 hours, restart instead of shutting down. Does it do the same thing, or does it do it only when you have updates? These are all things that first help knowing what's happening, but these are things you could try for. I suspect it's not an update issue. I suspect it's really something that has to do with a program that's running and that's not working right, for sure. So 2 last questions and we are off. So Viper, Bookman Viper has 3 questions. One that I've answered a little earlier. Updates on the 100 gigabyte a month, no problem at all. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I've showed you how to use the metered connection in the beginning of the show. Final is I doubt that Windows 10 Home will be on DVD anymore. If that's the case, what is the chance on the flash drive of Windows 10 Home breaking if make, since flash drive does break sometimes? I'm not really scared about that, okay? I don't think a flash drive has more problems or more chances of breaking than you scratching a DVD, for example. So don't worry with that. I don't think that's going to be a problem. And, flash drives tend to break because we use them all the time. I've had, over the 16 years I've been doing tech guy, tons and tons of flash drives that have been going bad because I use them a million times a week. Unplug, plug, unplug, plug, unplug. The Windows flash drive, once you've installed, you don't need it. You just store it somewhere. So it doesn't have any reason to really break, basically. So don't worry about that, and it should work. Other thing that you can do, by the way, with the flash drive is if you really want, you can extract the image file from the flash drive and put it on a DVD. Another thing, don't worry. The important thing also is that it's not the flash drive, it's the key, the Windows key. So if you break your flash drive, it doesn't matter. You go on the Microsoft website, you download Windows 10, and it's going to work with the key that you have with the flash drive. Because the most important thing isn't the flash drive, it's the key that comes with it. That's what's important. So you won't have to pay again. Don't worry about that. Even if the flash drive breaks, you just use the key and download it from the Microsoft website. So don't worry, you won't have any problems with that. And last question for today, and this one was asked just before the Hangout started. Good evening from a very windy, blustery, and very mild United Kingdom. I had a laptop computer that died. Kept any parts which I found to be useful. So I took the hard drive and wanted to put in another laptop and do a clean install of the latest build of Windows 10. But I got an error saying Windows cannot find the drive to install Windows. Tried to install Windows 7 and Vista, still got same message. Cannot find drive to install. Hard drive seems to be okay. Is there any way to rectify this error? Hope I have explained this clearly. Been watching your videos about shortwave radio, which I also find interesting. All the best. So thank you for the question. Well, I suspect your hard drive is dead. I really suspect your hard drive is dead. It doesn't mean because it spins that it's working. So what I would do is maybe go into the BIOS of your laptop. Does the BIOS see the hard drive? Does it tell you that there's a X gigabyte hard drive installed? That's one thing I would check for. Maybe if you know somebody that has, or if you maybe just go to a little computer shop and ask politely a guy, can you tell me if this hard drive works or not? And he's gonna plug it on a computer with a little USB kit like I have. Try it out. Another thing that you might want to make sure that when you install Windows 10 or any other Windows from scratch, in the first few options, you have the possibility to use the disk tool to initialize the hard drive, reformat it. Check that out. Can you see the hard drive with the tool? Maybe it's just formatted in such a way that right now it doesn't seem to work. But once you've initialized, removed all the partitions and initialized the hard drive, it comes working again. Make sure that it's formatted. Technically, if it comes from a broken laptop, it should already be formatted. But use at the start of the install of Windows, make sure that you use the tool that you can format the hard drive. Try that. These are things that you could try for, because there's no specific options. If you installed it in the laptop, it should detect and it should work. There's nothing really special to do on a hard drive, especially a laptop hard drive. And if your laptop broke, consider that maybe the hard drive failed. That could be a possibility. How did your laptop fail? Basically, that's a question to ask yourself. So good luck with that. I hope you find an answer. You can buy these little cheap kits that are sold for plugging external hard drives, and these are very inexpensive, about $15, $20, and you can plug your hard drive into a USB port and see if it works, if you can recover files, format it, and so on. You can check that out. But remember, a spinning hard drive doesn't mean it's working. It just means it's spinning. So that was the last question for today. It is 5:10 p.m. here in Eastern North America, which is Montreal. Was fun to do this show like every Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun watching it. This is, I've answered all the questions that I've had in back order. Everything that I've received today will be answered starting next week. So next week, we're going to have a question by Tim Robinson, Wilfredo Torres, Little Mo Silver, Vernon Smith, another Tim Robinson, and which I wanted to answer, and Stefan Klaus. So take care, everyone. You will be the first one answered in the next show. Hope that you enjoyed the show. It's been nice. So this is the live tech show. We are 3 to 5 p.m. every Tuesday, live from Eastern North America in time, 20 to 2200 hours, universal time. Why not follow us? Why not send your question, any questions you might have about anything, iPhone, Android, Windows, computers, hardware, anything. Send it to helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com. That's where I get your questions. That's where I answer. Take care, everyone. Have a nice week. See you next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2000 UTC, for another Computer Tech Show. Bye.